What just happened? Ermes shocking the freaking world is what happened. And let's be honest, only against Levan can you be down 4-0 but still shock the world. Now you guys know the deal, no match footage, you gotta get these events. They are worth every single penny, but obviously we're gonna talk about what happened. This is a huge deal for the community, and this position right here that you see is the tale of the night. This is what it all came down to. And the funny thing is, if we all saw this before the match happened, like some kind of vision into the future, I don't think anyone would be surprised. Yeah, Levan's on offense, Ermes is losing his wrist. What's the shock here? The shock is that Ermes would not go down. He fought like hell in that position, even basically going into a flop press, which Ermes, the top roller, and he made Levan work so hard, more than I've ever seen Levan work, more than I think Levan's ever worked. And you want evidence to back that statement up? Well, here you go. Levan was getting oxygen and couldn't even finish the final 2 rounds. His body was completely depleted. It was reminiscent of this match from King of the Table 5, Dave Chafee versus Vitaly Lalatin, where both the athletes were completely done. The hand pegs were covered in blood and Vitaly had to be taken out in a stretcher. So like I said, even though Levan swept the first 4 rounds, it was not easy, and you can see from this still here, Ermes was hitting a flop and really bringing Levan over to Levan's losing side of the table, and Levan would elbow foul a couple times, which got him out of a very precarious position, and all the more reason we need to implement proper running fouls. These are epic rounds that are being stopped by elbow fouls, and to be frank, I think Ermes would have gotten a legit pin had there been running fouls and the match not been stopped. However, it's not certain. We haven't even seen Levan have to defend above his own pin pad for like half a decade. So maybe Levan is super sticky there. All I know is that Ermes was starting the transition onto the offense after playing defense the whole time, and we didn't get to see it. Here it is from the other side. You can see Ermes is really on the offense here, and you can see Levan's elbow starting to creep off the back, which is about where Bill Collins called it. And they did a reset, and this is round 4, and it was after the reset where Levan just couldn't continue and therefore had to forfeit the last 2 rounds for a 4-2 finish. But it was a similar story on round 3, and that being the case, Ermes still had a chance to win the thing. But of course, there was a restart. After the restart, as you guys saw, Levan just had a flash pin finish, so securing the match there. It was also interesting because we're so used to Levan doing things like that it was nice to see his technical range a bit. We saw him climbing. He actually had time in the match to show that he is an intelligent arm wrestler, because he is. But yeah, I think Ermes getting the stops he did in this position, relying mostly on bicep, brachialis, really having no hand control, took everybody by surprise, and you could see it at the end of the match. People were congratulating him like he had won the dang thing. But yeah, great show from Ermes, but I mean, Levan's still the man. He did win it 4-0, and he has said that he'll never lose a round for the rest of his career, and it gets a little dicey here because he couldn't continue after the 4-0 victory, and so he conceded the last 2, but he didn't get pinned. So while he did lose rounds, he didn't get pinned, so his streak of pinlessness is still intact. So Levan remains the king, but he did say between breaths from the oxygen tank that this was the best match of his life, and Aussie Arm Wrestler did an awesome job commentating, and he asked them both if they want a rematch. Both of them obviously not in the mood to talk about another super match with each other, but we're both open to the idea in the future, and I love that idea. Ermes and Levan, for that matter, are still young, so they can both improve, and this was just a joy to watch. Make sure you are catching these King of the Table events. So all in all, what are my thoughts? Super entertaining, straight up, high production value. King of the Table is really the cream of the crop in terms of, you know, a relatively small event that is just packed with production value. You guys saw it, pyrotechnics on the entrance. You can see all the RGB lighting in the background. Before every match, there were videos like giving some backstory. Super high quality stuff. Ermes obviously surprised everyone with his ability to slow Levan down and even bring the match back onto the offense. However, the running fouls, the system needs to be renovated. It just does. We can't have these insane matches stopping. And I know the trend is towards running fouls. Most places have some kind of running foul system, but clearly it still needs fine-tuning. We're starting to see it in a way where if the ref doesn't think the foul helped that much, they don't stop the match, but they think it did help a lot, they do stop the match. It's too subjective. I'm fine with strict reffing with running fouls. Your elbow comes off, well, your elbow came off, you have a running foul, period. But let the match run. Let the hands hit the pin pads. I can't imagine either athlete wanted rounds like this to end on fouls, but they did. However, I'm not going to let that rain on the parade. This was an incredible match. King of the Table kills it every time. Love it. We are in a golden age of arm wrestling between this, East versus West. We have promotions propping up all over the place. So good times. Congratulations, both athletes. Levan, still the king. You put on a show. Ermes, what a fight. Everybody can't wait to see you back on the table. I'm not even going to ask you guys if you want to see a rematch between these two, but rather how much time should there be in between now and the rematch? And do you want to see someone else go in against Ermes or Levan in the meantime? If you guys enjoyed this video, pull in Ermes and flop press that like button and subscribe to catch all my future content. I put up multiple new videos every week, and I will see you in the next one.